aircraft.
Yes.
And this
and national security has the gravitas.
So who owned this aircraft that landed in Ghana?
National security knows all.
But you do not know.
At the moment, our intelligence is at it, but we haven't ascertained the actual people behind it.
The same for the air ambulance too.
Absolutely.
We do not know who brought it into the country. Absolutely. And what it came to do. All we know is that a cargo was loaded and offloaded from this aircraft.
Yes.
And this
and national security has the gravitas. They have all the instruments and the resources to ascertain any further information related to these flights. And that is why the question is directed at them.
But if no arrest or no question is being asked, doesn't that suggest that perhaps this was a legitimate landing and taking off that,
So that is for the
that doesn't require any clarity?
That is for the national security to set their records. And if they deny, then further information available will be made. So we are waiting on them to provide responses on the details of these aircrafts, their cargo, who is behind it, and then the subsequent, concerns will also be brought forth.
But you are so emphatic that this could be cocaine and money.
Suspected cocaine.
Why narrow it down to cocaine and money?
Those are the.
It could have been anything.
Those are the suspicions our intel intercepted.
And beyond putting this in the public domain, have you sought answers from the National Security Secretariat? The Minister for Interior with additional responsibility for national security is your colleague.
Oh yes, but there's nothing also stops us from the media getting involved in some of these concerns. The more transparent it is, the better it is for governance, the better it is for security. And so we are asking them legitimately. If Parliament were in session, the first instrument I would have used would have probably been an urgent question that would be filed for the National Security Coordinator or the Minister to provide answers. But Parliament is not in session, and we cannot wait until such a time when Parliament comes back. So the media, through this engagement, they pick.
So who owned this aircraft that landed in Ghana?
National security knows all.
But you do not know.
The last few days, the disinformation machine of the new Patriotic Party has been ratcheted up, and they've taken it a notch higher. This time, Reverend Intim Fodjo, who also doubles as the Member of Parliament for the good people of Asin South, has made very wild claims to the effect that 2 aircrafts which passed through Ghana for various reasons were carrying drugs, and that was the reason why they were here. He also alleged that they were involved in money laundering, and therefore he was calling for investigations. As you may be aware, President Mahama gave him the opportunity to present any evidence or any basis he has for making that claim to the security services, so that together we could look into the matter to ascertain whether there was any truth in it. I can report to you that because he knew he was peddling total falsehoods and lies, he now claims, after being invited to assist with investigations, that he was speaking on behalf of the committee that he was part of, and that the views he expressed were not his personal views. So because of that, he says he's unable to cooperate with the security agencies. I say that he was peddling falsehood because the facts as they exist vary completely from the claims that he made. When he made that claim, he was only seeking to peddle falsehood in a bid to undermine the confidence that the people of Ghana have in this government. The truth is that 2 aircrafts with completely different purposes arrived in Ghana, and their arrival was perfectly legitimate, and they were here for very genuine reasons. The first one is an Antonov flight 12BK with registration number CVK 7037. Now this flight essentially is a cargo plane which arrived on the 12th of March 2025. Now no plane arrives in Ghana without a landing permit. So this plane secured a landing permit with number GAF/TMAO/25/7863. Now the purpose for arriving in Ghana was what we call a technical stop, essentially, this is a cargo flight that was destined for the European Union market. And European Union regulations dictate that some specific regulatory requirements be met before any plane of that sort can enter the EU. Now, this plane originated from Rwanda in Angola. It was loaded with oil drill equipment and lubricant oil, which were contained in jerrycans. It was headed for the EU market. Now, Rwanda does not have the certification to carry out the sort of requirements that this plane had to meet before entering the EU market. Now, the specific requirement is a scanning and screening RA3 procedure, which is a requirement to enter the European Union. Rwanda doesn't have it. The Swiss cargo facility at the Kodoka International Airport has that certification, and they can do that kind of scanning. Whilst here, it developed an engine blade fault. Its engine blade was damaged, and then it was also detected that there was severe oil leakage, which required immediate attention. For that reason, a replacement aircraft, URCEZ, with registration number CVK 7007, was brought in to evacuate the cargo. The aircraft that was damaged remained here for 13 days. That is between 12 March and 25th March 2025. After it had been inspected by aviation security officials of the Narcotic Control Commission.
You shouted, "Let them enter! Let them enter!" You and the minister, the former Minister for Interior, and my good friend and brother, the former Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, and also Honorable Kandapa, the four of you, I followed you from outside here on that fateful day, and I dove my cap for Honorable Kandapa when he shouted, "Don't let them enter! Don't let them enter! Don't let them enter!" You shouted, "Let them enter! Let them enter! Let them enter!" And they entered.
That I am not a coward. I can never be a coward. Otherwise, I cannot go home. He knows where I come from. And let me tell you, you have no evidence.
Thank you.
Not a single shred of evidence. And I want him to withdraw that statement. It's very unfortunate that you will make a statement against Ambrose. He's not here to defend himself. Make a statement against me, and I can defend myself. It's wrong. You have no evidence. You heard it. You heard it. It's very unfortunate. Do you even know when the soldiers came? Do you know where I was?
Honorable members.
When the soldiers came in, do you even know where I was that day? Do you know where I was?
Mr. Speaker, he's saying that there was no democracy at that time, and that there was no government in place, and that he wasn't the minister at that time. And so whatever happened, he wasn't bothered. This is what he just said. Mr. Speaker, the very people who did that are still in the system. I want to call on you. On this day, we have your pictures to order an investigation so that we will get to the bottom of this issue. But
what is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today. Today is the 8th of April, 2025. My name is Audu Moro, and it's always a pleasure to come your way with another edition of the Good Morning Ghana show. A big thanks to the Almighty God for seeing us through today. We're live and kicking, and we're back here to join the nation's conversation. What's happening in our dear country, Ghana? Please pardon me, I have a bit of a catarrh, so I may sound a bit nasal, but well, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. So we'll go straight ahead and look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning by way of looking at front pages of the newspapers. So Daily Graphic this morning is reporting that the government will stop issuing prospecting license to small-scale miners. Ghana risks losing EU timber export license. Parliament yet to ratify protocols. New rules set for Okada riders. Ministry's website's content outdated. That's a shame, isn't it? The Ghanaian Times, research and innovation. Let's complement donor support. President Mahama to African countries. Mining policy under review to meet current dynamics. Lands Minister. Sustain key interventions to improve lives of women, children. WHO rep. Transport Ministry begins consultation on a new licensing regime for Okada tricycle. Daily Guide. Security operatives raid Bamia's ADC's house. Agosa Menu questions Kwacho Fosu over AirMed flight number. AirMed flight saga. Government video staged in Tim Fojo. CJ responds to removal petitions. Fake currencies found in Bank of Ghana boxes at Sapeman. The new crusading guide. Chief Justice makes strong case in response to petition seeking her removal. Ploy against Rage Hospital director backfires as Yoko chases corrupt element within. Akwatia sub-chiefs accused of selling riverbanks for Galamsey. Constitute bipartisan committee to investigate cocaine scandal, APL to government. MOH and FDA destroy massive seized opioids. The Inside. Whistleblower petitions NIB over alleged fraud, corruption and procurement breaches at Rage Hospital. The draining of Ghana through state enterprises. GDLA salutes new IGP Christian Tete Yohono as it expresses condolences over passing of his mother. Behind Donald Trump's spiraling tariff war, an interview with Marxist economist Michael Roberts. Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, juntas impose import levy on ECOWAS nations, others to fund new alliance. Daily Post. There is so much to gain from gold board auto-forcing. Chief Justice Tokono submits response to President Mahama over removal petitions. Ghana's former High Commissioner to India, Sampi Yale, passes away. Stop taking exams fees in public basic schools. GES to school heads. Business and Financial Times. IEA pushes for policy changes to maximize nation's resource wealth. GIPC realizes about $100 million in investment under GETP. Bahama vows no mercy for illegal miners. Dubawa investigates allegations against ECG, Bamia and Haptel. See what they found. Pring and First Bank appoint 2 new non-executive directors. Metrolens. Springpark provides legal support to members facing repression. Armed national security officers break into Bamia's aide-de-camp's home. Bahama pushes for Pan-African Higher Education Initiative. And the Economy Times, BOG data projects strong economic growth in 2025. Exporters analysts react to 10% U.S. tariff on Ghanaian export amidst ambassadors' reassurance. And Economist hopes Ghana gets IMF target waivers as it concludes fourth review. So these are the front page stories. I'll be back by introducing my guest, and the conversation will start. Please stay with us.
You see, Ghana is a confused state now.
We're a confused state. That's serious.
We're confused structurally, ideologically, and in terms of what we are looking for. And I'll take time to explain.
Please do.
You know, when the white man came here, he had his objective. So, for example, he came to my great-grandfather at Axim. My great-grandfather came from Boire and gave him a mirror. Look at me, how beautifully I'm dressed. And look at you, your skin is, yes, that's open and that. And that if you give me a piece of land, I will give you some clothes to wear. That's how gradually, in that infant stages, we got ourselves linked with the white man. At a point in time, we even had to go sign a bond with them, which lasted for over 100 years. It's been 68 years since we gained our independence. You know, I have lived my life in the pension industry. And if Ghana was a male or a human being, it should have been on pension for the past 8 years.
It's gone past retirement.
Gone past retirement, so it should have been matured by now. We are confused structurally because we still haven't come to grips that Ghana is a unitary country. We still haven't got to grips with that. And that in spite of the pension for people in those days saying that we wanted to go federal, albeit on a very parochial sense, because we have the gold and everything, so we want to be on our own. That's the beginning of the Matimuhu movement. We have Matimuhu. Do you know what it means?
Yeah.
I've moved myself from the Ghanaian enterprise. Kwame Nkrumah wanted to bring all of us together. You know, Moro, I'm forever grateful to Kwame Nkrumah.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias.
That's a cycle.
It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Gidi said we use to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasan. Kile kosen. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
And you will so feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Look around.
home also need a makeover? Oh, mine clearly does. So we went to Ashroom and found the Como collection. It had everything we're looking for and more. Merchant furniture for the entire home, designed with you in mind.
Where's Como collection? Dressing up is just a breeze. Always ready with a perfect accessory.
A magic dressing mirror. One look and you're ready to face the world. Or at least the kids.
A bed perfect for young men who want
a table that turns into a treasure chest.
And finally, a sofa with this grand TV unit for family time at home.
Head over to any Ashform store now and discover the new Como collection. Ashform, feel it, know it.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Fire pomudi ni agobi Ghana fueni agi efise ya your local spices na ya frafra dia ya sankofa natural spice
me de gumi jollof mu ni mi sti wa hodoma emanate dance
Stanley the barbecue the go on
sankofa natural spices and one you use 100% natural said the yepen
Adofo mamunye huge mistake sankofa natural spices the
FDIG
Ama, nansi mi jeno wo bin enkoye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo wasima kra. Ama me kunu me into kwankwa. Oyiwa. Enye mo ko. Give us GC mixture and in capsules. Aye num bom. Enho asem na mo kana. Ebua emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye bemasima. Ya, we be bua wuku. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya na ninti sese ni oyi chopmo.
Give us BC mixture and a capsule. Ashisa.
A pin for a batter, one more menu for one and Kwada when if you do me Ashisa.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kids Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kids, happy smile.
Fire pomudi ni agobi Ghana fueni agi efise ya your local spices na ya frafra dia ya sankofa natural spice
me de gumi jollof mu ni mi sti wa hodoma emanate dance
Stanley the barbecue the go on
sankofa natural spices and one you use 100% natural
Adofo, mamunye huge mistake. Sankofa natural spices. The
FDA ejedi nkratu yatu.
All right, you're still live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Audu Moro, and let me say that this show is proudly brought to you by Blue Jeans Energy Drink, or let me say Blue Jeans Energy Drink is proudly associated with the Good Morning Ghana show. And the Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for more than 20 years, and we know that what it does for the body, it contains many vitamins and nutrients, vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and your energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. So Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested, it's been tried, we know it, and we can testify that it's indeed the best. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is for bold and active men and women. It's in shops nationwide. So for bulk purchases, contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 055 001 000, 055 001 0000, and also 0208 128 190, 0208 128 190. So that's it for Blue Jeans Energy Drink, and something I've always been encouraging you to taste because of what I have personally, benefited from drinking Blue Jeans Energy Drink. But also, I've got some good news for our viewers and, for that matter, Ghanaians on the whole, which is that this Easter, all roads will lead to the Akuapem Ridge for once-in-a-lifetime special Easter experience. So join Metro TV, Original TV, and Original FM as we make whistle stopovers at fun-filled joints such as OPK's, Susie's Place, Superb Lounge, among others, from Ebri, Mampon to Ekropong. It's Easter on a crescendo with the Jam Squads for Metro TV, Original TV, and Original FM on the Akuapem Ridge. And let me just say that more details are coming. So this is going to be an Easter like never before, an Easter like never before. So, well, get up your loins and get ready for this fun-filled event. It's none that you've ever imagined before. So joining us this morning for, as usual, what promises to be a very interesting conversation is the former Member of Parliament for the Mion constituency, Mohammed Abdulaziz. He's also the Deputy Administrator for GIFEC. Good morning, Honorable. Thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Tuesday. Yeah, today's Tuesday. And this is the day the Lord has made. But I have some congratulatory messages that I'll be expressing. But let me just say that Richard Ahiagba is also here. Richard Ahiagba is the Director of Communications of the New Patriotic Party. He's also joined us this morning. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Morning, Moro.
It's always a pleasure.
A joy to be here.
Yeah. I notice you like leaning a lot. Leaning as a fabric.
It's easy on the skin.
Yeah. I think so. I love leaning too. I always tell my tailors.
Yeah.
Who's your tailor though?
He's an unnamed person.
It's strictly underground.
But yeah,
if I make money, I would
let you show me your.
Who's the still eyes?
No, I can't.
It could be myself.
If I make some small money, I'll pay some call. You link with your tailor. But for now, I can pay.
It's very cheap. You don't need too much
money.
What is cheap to you would mean a lot to me.
You mean cheap or affordability is always relative.
Well, it's really cheap. Okay. You don't have to struggle much.
Well, 1,000 cedis. I mean, for this, it's
I don't know what world in which you have that, but this is low budget.
But lane fabrics look good on you.
Yeah.
So, you know. But anyway, Abdulaziz, let me congratulate you for your recent appointment, Deputy Administrator for GIFEC. I know what your qualities are. I have no doubt at all that you would help to build Mother Ghana. But speaking about GIFEC, not much is heard about GIFEC.
It's true. And,
who are you?
Let me say good morning to you. Good morning to my brother. Good morning to our esteemed viewers. GIFEC is an agency under the Communications Ministry.
Okay.
Founded somewhere in 2004. Of course, the conversation about GIFEC started in 1998.
Okay.
When we had discussions about ICT for development on the campuses of GIMPA, but the law actually came into being, or the institution came into being somewhere 2004. Act 776 or 775, I'm not too sure. Yes, Act 776, yes. Establishing the Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communication. Like I said, it operates under the Ministry of Communication. I worked at GIFEC between the years of 2009 to 2016 under President Mills, President Mahama, when Honorable Haruna Idrisu was the Minister for Communications, and later Dr. Omani Buama also became Minister for that sector. I was there as a finance manager before I left for Parliament. So GIFEC is not a new place to me. We are doing a lot to attract some visibility, but we have a very important function that we play relative to the Ministry of Communications. To cut it short, the mandate of GIFEC is to bridge the digital divide between what we call the served and between the served on one hand and then unserved or underserved communities in Ghana, especially in the area of voice and data. You know, most of the time, the mobile telecommunication companies will not go to areas that are not economically attractive. They are normally found within the urban areas where they can make some good margins. And so we exist to bridge that gap. You know, we extend connectivity to the rural and the rural areas, just so that they can also participate in the digital world. But under the leadership of President Mahama and the NDC, we are trying to see how we can move the mandate of GIFEC forward. And so if we go and read the NDC's manifesto, we are thinking of even changing the name and expanding the mandate of GIFEC. We think that we should move beyond just giving people voice and data facilities. We must see how we can accelerate the economy through digitalization. And so that's why, for instance, if you have the 1 million coders, it's to empower the young people going into coding. That will give them employable skills within the ICT space. And so under this regime, we would be transiting from just providing voice and data facilities to seeing how the young people of this country can ride on digitalization to function and function well within the Ghanaian economy. And so we have a lot of projects. I'm sure when we have another platform, we can be able to look at the various projects that we run. Either you are talking about the rural telephony project that has to do with the extension of voice, like I said, where we do the what you normally call as a towers. But ours is quite a different one, not as big as you may see the telcos do. And they also do internet deployment to our cyber labs. We have about 280 community information centers dotted around the country. And so it is our thinking that we can use those CICs, Community Information Services, to render public services. We can partner with the Passport Office, the DVLA, Registrar General's Department. A lot of state institutions, we think that we can deploy our facilities to render government facilities. Under the leadership of our Sector Minister, Honorable Sam George, we want to transform our CICs to render very critical government services. For instance, in my village, when you go to Sang, for instance, which is the district capital for Myong, somebody living in Tambabu or somebody living in Pabia would have to come to Tamale to start the process for acquiring a passport. We think that some of these things can be brought closer to the people, even driver's license, how to register your business. We can use these CICs as a center to attract such businesses. But the indication I'm having is that we would also be deploying these CICs to run the coded system. But that is too early yet. I don't have the mandate of the minister to speak to that. But these are some of the things that we do and we intend to do. But I'm sure when we have another platform, we can speak more on the activities of the Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communication.
Yeah. What you need to do is, and that's just free advice or consultation that I want to give you. I think you need to pay money to the media houses to tell your story, because I believe you're doing quite a lot.
Yes. So but, just last week or so, we have employed, we have established a full directorate for corporate affairs, communications, and we think that that directorate should lead in our visibility processes. In fact, before I left GIFEC, we had a lot of cyber labs. We had what we call the school connectivity, library connectivity, even prison connectivity, where we extended some facilities, ICT facilities, to the inmates to learn some digital skills, just to make them employable when they leave the prison premises. We had projects with the school for the blind, a lot of projects, some of them, even e-fishing. You know, our fisher folks had a device that could allow them do their fishing well. They could tell, with that device, they could tell that, look, on the high seas, when they could see just beneath the water. You know, so when you see there was a screen, we have a screen on board, and then a device that is deep into the water. And so what a very, very laudable project. Some of them I haven't seen on my return. And so I'm discussing with the administrator, we are discussing with the minister to see how we can revisit those projects. Right. Because we must use ICT to affect lives. It's not just having connectivity, both voice and data. Okay. It must allow you to play an active role in the economy. All right. And so it is early days, yes. I'm just about I'm less than 1 month old at GIFEC now. Okay. On my return, I mean. But I'm sure we will do more to attract some visibility. And we'll partner with stations like Metro TV and other media houses to for the Ghanaian people to know exactly what we do and what we can do. Yes.
Okay. Well, we're waiting. I mean, here at Metro Television, such a powerful media platform. We definitely will be waiting for that engagement, so that we can help you propagate some of the things that you're doing. But let's Richard, once again, I hope you're doing well. I don't know whether you have any brief comments you want to make about GIFEC. I think they've not been that visible.
Yeah. No,
even whilst you were government, I had the same concerns.
No, they've been working, actually. They do quite a significant amount of work. But I want to commend my brother. GIFEC is one of those parts of the engine that you don't appreciate but contributes to the movement of the vehicle. So you get your destination and you don't really know the contribution of a nut and bolt on your door. But without it, door probably would be latched properly. So I think that they're doing a significant amount of work, and I commend or congratulate my brother for his appointment. I have confidence he would apply himself and do a good job, except that I just don't have overall confidence in their delivery, because they have promised so much, so far no show. he probably will be starved of resources because.
You just said that you believe in his ability to apply himself to the job.
Well, as for what he can control, I don't have doubt about that. Richard, is the ones that are beyond his control? That's the problem.
So you have confidence in me.
Are you?
You don't have confidence in the minister and the president, Mahama.
I'm talking about your government as it stands now. We're still looking for the 24-hour economy that you say would come. So far,
GIFEC has
no, because I made a point about your government.
About marriage,
that one is not going to show. Young people, on the 10th or so of this month, I'll be engaging in some youth activity in Ketu South. The youth are asking questions about the 24-hour economy. They took the 2024 election seriously and personal, seeking to have change of fortunes for themselves. And the NDC positioned itself as the one to answer the questions or to bring those dreams they have to fruition. But then, so far, it's appearing to be a disappointment.
Okay.
My brother being part of it, I am happy for him, but it's not going to amount to much.
Okay.
All right. But I don't know what you're going to talk about today, but I think that there's a significant matter that we must talk about.
Which is?
The burgeoning drug trade, money laundering concerns that we have raised. And I think that it is something that we need to talk about because where we are seated now, Moro, nothing is more important. Nothing, absolutely nothing is more important. For this country to discuss than to ensure what is going on with all these drug announcements in our country. That we need to be clear in our minds that those conversations of drug and money laundering has collective effect on us as a country and has individual effect on you, Moro, and on me and on my good brother.
We're talking about GIFEC.
No, we're talking about GIFEC. We just mentioned.
You have found a way. You have found a way.
You
see what they do?
Nobody is doing anything.
They are bent on shaping the dialogue to suit their interests.
No, but this is what you were doing in opposition. You were sitting here talking about what you want. But the point I'm making is that it's not even about
before you table it, he's discussing it.
No, but that's the matter everywhere.
Agenda setting.
No.
We have agenda setting.
Well, if
agenda setting.
Okay, if this agenda setting, then the media has set the agenda and we should discuss it.
Agenda setting.
Unfortunately, that topic is not one of our topics.
But we have to discuss that. No, we have to discuss that matter. You see, the key thing is that. Okay, well, I will discuss that.
So why don't you
bring the topic? That's what I want to talk about because GIFEC was not your subject matter.
No, I just
Richard.
No, Senior.
Why can't we talk about the stolen containers?
You can talk about that.
About the stolen containers.
I am ready. We'll talk about that. We must talk about it because it's
about pure TV.
It has to do.
You are talking about ministers and government officials who have stolen as much as 1,346 containers containing electrical materials that we have used the state resources to procure. Are you interested in that?
Are you interested in that? The last time I was watching your TV
divert the public attention, and that will not allow you.
Here on Good Morning Ghana.
No, that will not allow you.
When I guessed,
even the man who started the issue of the cocaine issue has gone quiet. The Reverend Abronye has gone quiet.
No, Reverend, he's talking.
So let's talk about the man had to run away from the studios on Newsfile. You want to bring that issue?
Stop piecing these things.
When they have even given you video footages. Video footages.
Those are staged videos.
I am very, very interested. Look, I'm very, very comfortable. If you want us to discuss drugs and money laundering,
bring it on.
Why? That's the only party in this country that has had a sitting MP arrested for dealing drugs was from your party.
Nobody is disputing that. Just hold on. This is the time. This is the time
person who ran for presidential primaries on your party ticket is alleged to be engaged in drug dealing. Your immediate past president, WikiLeaks, made a report on him about drugs.
Okay.
You want us to talk about it?
I said we should talk about it.
When there are genuine issues that has to do with stolen containers,
we'll talk about containers.
Our scarce resources.
We'll talk about containers. We'll talk about drugs.
You can't set the agenda for us.
You are now a public. You are now working, and I am paying you. So when you are behaving on the show, you have to behave properly. But
so you pay me, right?
I am paying you right now as you sit here.
I still remain an undiluted member of the NDC. Look, and I'll defend the interests of the NDC.
No problem.
Whether I'm a public servant or not.
You know that
one I can assure you.
You know that once he's seated here,
yes.
The Republic of Ghana is paying his salary.
Do you know when I left the office yesterday?
And if he's sitting,
I don't care.
I have to be in the office.
I left the office at 9 p.m. yesterday.
But I could be sleeping. You could be sleeping, not working. Now you are supposed to be working.
I have a bed at home that
no
can
problem.
Myself,
your office is at bed. But I'm just saying that.
Tomorrow, this morning,
you are going to be tired. I am telling you that.
I am coming from the office.
No problem.
We'll
talk about the money laundering, the business,
and the stolen containers.
Very well. I am
that
ready.
Your running mate was a minister when those things happen.
No problem.
He should be invited.
No problem.
Dubik should be invited. Your minority leader, who was a board chairman for ECG, should be invited.
This is not how you behave in government. You are still behaving like you are in opposition. Now you are in government.
I'm not going to
you must act responsibly. No. You must be sensitive to Ghanaians because we are the ones paying you. So you need to conduct your affairs differently.
When you were in opposition,
you could be reckless.
Can we please make progress?
It was someone making noise. I was just making the point. The point I'm making is this. Okay.
You know the rules of this. You've been on this
platform for many years. I know the rules, but then you see.
So here's the thing.
Honorable. Is gone. Veteran tax is gone. Honorable. Economic dialogue.
Honorable.
We've had it.
Please allow me to.
National Education Forum. We've had it.
Honorable. Please let me come in.
We are doing less than 60 minutes.
Let me come in. I beg you. Let me come in. Let me come in. Well, I have bad news for the two of you. The bad news I have for the two of you is that we here, in fact, it's the production team that determines what we talk about, not our guests. If we allow our guests to set the agenda for us, that means we are failed as a media.
That's right.
So we decide what to be discussed. So that's the bad news I have for you. And
then that's
what
we talk about the aircraft.
Our head of production
that was here with some
our lead producer for the show.
Then he's run away. But
our lead producer. Please hold on.
Now allegedly.
How long are we going to hold on?
Our lead producer and myself have already agreed on what to talk about today. So let's please make progress. I beg you.
We'll make progress.
So you talked about the fact that you're yet to see promises that were made by the party in opposition, the NDC, being fulfilled. And if you look at today, the Ghanaian Times, it says Transport Ministry begins consultation on new licensing regime for Okada tricycle. And the story is by Cynthia Sampana. And it says that the government is to introduce a new licensing regime for motorcycle and tricycle riders to regulate the operations. The Minister of Transport, Mr. Joseph Bukari Nikbe, has said. He's explaining that under the new licensing regime, the police service would be empowered to ensure that motorcycle and tricycle riders adhere to road traffic laws. Additionally, Mr. Nikbe said motorcycle and tricycle riders would be put into unions under the new licensing regime to collaborate with the police service and would include a database of all motorcycles and tricycles. The minister said this in an interview with journalists at a national stakeholder consultation held in Accra yesterday on the review of the Road Traffic Regulations 2012, LI 2180. Organized by the Ministry of Transport, the stakeholders consultation brought together representatives from the National Road Safety Authority, Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, and the Okada Riders Association. It allowed the participants to make inputs on the proposed amendment of the Road Traffic Regulations 2012, LI 2180, particularly the provisions on the use of motorcycles and tricycles for fare-paying passenger services in the country. According to Mr. Dikwe, some of the provisions in the regulations would cover the mandatory use of helmets, periodic inspections, and rider training. Motorcycles and tricycles cannot be restricted to terminals or parking lots, but they will have places where you can identify that this is a motorcycle or tricycle terminal or slots that they can use on daily basis. Moreover, he said that the licensing of motorcycles and tricycles, as well as their registration, was not going to be done by the private sector, but will be done at the DVLA. The next step, After the stakeholder consultation, Mr. Ndekwa said, would be the presentation of the proposed amendment to the subsidiary of the Legislation Committee and the Attorney General Department for drafting, after which it would finally be laid in Parliament for consultation. He said that the utmost priority of the government was the safety and welfare of riders and passengers, and therefore urged all relevant stakeholders in the transport and road sectors to make the necessary input into the proposed amendment. So, now the Director of Regulations, Inspection and Compliance of the National Road Safety Authority, Mr. Kwame Kudia Etiahene, said although concerns had been raised about the effectiveness of the proposed amendment of the Road Traffic Regulations 2012 LI 2180 to regularize operations of motorcycles and tricycles, Ghana could learn from other countries where its implementation had been successful. For his part, the National President of the National Union of Tricycle Operators of Ghana, Hamza Hafiz, commended the government for the move to regularize operations of the motorcycle and tricycle by government. He also suggested that there should be a way to identify commercial motor riders, such as a particular color, or number plates to distinguish them from the private operators. Mr. Hafiz assured the union's willingness to partner with the government to ensure that the right measures were put in place, including designated parking stations and comprehensive insurance for riders. Now, Richard and Honorable, that the campaign to regularize the activities of motor riders, what they call Okada riders, was a campaign promise that was made as far back as in 2012. It was a big issue in 2020. And also, it was one of the promises that the party made in 2024 elections. And I recall that the MPP had some serious reservations about this whole Okada riders matter. But it appears that the government is going to go ahead with it in line with fulfilling its campaign promises. And we've just heard about the introduction of a new license regime for motorcycle and tricycle riders in order to regulate the operations. Let me start with you, Honorable. It appears that you're really going ahead with this. How important is this development, which is tackling the law first before you roll out the policy?
So, like you rightly indicated, it was a major policy decision that President Mahama and the NDC took whilst in the position, that we felt that we needed to have a relook at the law that bans the activities of Okada riders. If you recall, like you stated, LI 2180,
yes,
that was passed somewhere in 2012.
Yes,
under President Mahama, banned the use of motor riding for some economic activity. But we felt that, look, this is a space that we can't stop now. If you look at the numbers involved, it is providing livelihoods to about 1 million people. It is on record that somewhere 2020, the numbers of Okada riders was around 800,000. I suppose that we should be looking at 1 million now. So apart from the means of livelihood, apart from the fact that it has become an integral part of our national transport system, we are concerned about even the issues of road accidents that they are involved in. And sometimes they also complain that when they are involved in some accidents of a sort and they go to the hospitals, they are not attended to in time and stuff like that. And so it is only a fool who doesn't learn. And so we have decided as a party to repeal that law. But we think that even before that law is repealed, we will need to take steps to train them, license them, and regulate them. And so the main purpose of what we intend to do is to train, license, and regulate the activities of Okada riders. Our opponents in MPP were opposed to it, but we think that we don't intend to betray the trust that the Ghanaian people give to us. In other jurisdictions, they are able to regulate them very, very well. We are even talking about uniform for them. If you can have a uniform for them, if they can operate like the hill riders that we have, that you can just use your phone to order for an Okada rider to come and pick you to carry out your activities. All of us, I don't know, but I've had I've used an Okada before in Accra here, but go down to the north and motor riding is as common as anything, especially in the morning when parents are taking their kids to school. And so I don't even understand why, if you ride a motorbike and you carry a friend, it is not a crime. But once you link it to a commercial activity or you want to take money for doing that same service, then it becomes a crime. I don't know what would have informed, but I'm sure what informed the law at that time would have been the rate of accident that they were recording. But it has become a space that we cannot stop today. And so if you can't stop it, you better regulate it. And so it is on that basis that President Mahama and the NDC says that we are going to amend the Road Traffic Regulations Act 2180 of 2012 to legalize the operations of Okada. And then the Minister of Transport would lead that charge because it is within their domain. I have every trust and confidence in Honorable Nipe, who also doubles as the MP for Saboba, to champion that issue. I know of 2 or so gentlemen who are already preparing to take advantage of training some Okada riders. I know a young man who is so much interested in it, but it is too early in the day to start to talk about it. But I think that it's a good move. We don't intend to betray the trust that the Ghanaian people bestowed on us. Like I was talking about some of the initiatives that we have taken so far. Either you are talking about the e-levy, the betting tax, every single promise that President Mahama made to the people of this country, we will try to the best of our ability to live up to it. Our opponents can just sit down and watch us deliver in style. They say when you are swimming in the presence of your enemy, he will still accuse you of raising dust. And so we don't expect the likes of Richard and the NPP to see anything good in President Mahama and the NDC. But trust me, every single promise that President Mahama made, we would ensure that it is delivered. He has become a legacy president. He wants to leave a legacy. And so just one after the other, we are going to tackle all the pledges that we made to the Ghanaian people, whether it is in the area of job creation, the economy, or even livelihoods like this Okada issue. Look, Imuro, can you imagine if these 1 million young men were to be rendered unemployed again, where this country would be, the impact it would have on crime? We can't afford to lay them off. We can't afford to be chasing them like criminals every day. Yes, I understand. I appreciate that some of them don't conduct themselves well. They will drive by a vehicle and smash your side mirror. They don't stop. And we appreciate all that they do, but it has become a necessary evil. We would try and regulate that space. And trust me, once you cannot stop it completely, it is better for you to attempt to regulate that space. You can't regulate if you don't license them. You can't license them if you don't train them well. And so, tomorrow, we are on. The Transport Minister and the Transport Ministry, I have no doubt in their capacity to repeal the law and to formalize or legalize the operations of motorcycles and tricycles. Those of us from the north, the role that they play in our economic lives, you cannot underestimate it.
Apparently, on March 2, 2025, somebody just drew my attention to something, and there was a whole government delegation led by the Minister of Transport, your very good friend, Joseph Bukari.
Yes.
And they went to Kigali, Rwanda,
to study
for a working visit to study the country's successful model of regulating commercial motorcycle, and also tricycle operations. And we're told that the delegation included Julius Nikwe Kote, the DVLA boss.
Yes.
And there was also National Safety Authority led by Amaliba was also there, and the members of the Tricycle Okada Riders Union. And as the supervising and the policy formulating by the Ministry of Transport is spearheading efforts to realize the present vision, the trip was to examine best practices in Rwanda's regulatory framework to help shape Ghana's approach to the sector. And we're told Mr. Kote shared details of the visit on his Facebook, where he was highlighting the delegation's engagement with key institutions, including Rwanda Corporation, the Ministry of Infrastructure, the Rwanda Utilities Regulatory Authority, and the Rwanda Development Board. Okay, so the discussion, we're told, provided valuable insights into Rwanda's structured approach to licenses, safety, and compliance in the Okada subsector. The DVLA, as an institution responsible for licensing motorized vehicles, was part of the delegation to examine Rwanda's licensing regime. And we're told so they went to Rwanda to learn best practice.
It's not a populist a policy, there's a deliberate attempt to engage all the players within that industry to the extent that we had to go and understudy in Kenya, in Rwanda, the Okada Riders Association were involved. It tells you that, look, this is an inclusive approach to the policy. It's not just because President Mahama said it or because the NDC kept in their manifesto. Let's go ahead with it. Let's them the consequences. We are learning from best practices within the African context to see how we can be able to do that. And so it only goes to buttress the fact that we are deliberate about it and that it is meant for the good of the people of this country. We will not take any step that would jeopardize the safety of the Ghanaian people. Okay. But my thinking, I don't know what the ministry would be thinking about it. Maybe around 6 p.m., after 6 p.m. or after 7 p.m., we can bring the activities of Okada riders to an end. So anytime between 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., that can be when they can be allowed to work. Because we're also looking at the issue of armed robbery in the night. You know, sometimes you meet two people on a motorbike and at midnight, and we are not too sure who you are meeting on the way. And so let's see how we can be. Well, you can ride your motorbike anytime you want if you are alone. But I think that after 6 p.m., we should be looking at a possibility of bringing, because look, we are mostly busy during the working hours. Yeah. People are going to work, they are sending their kids to school and stuff like that. When we close from work at 5, and so right after 6, 7 p.m., if it is possible, this is just my personal thinking, that we can bring the activities of Okada riders to an end. But like I said, it is the ministry and the stakeholders who would be a better place to know what to do and what not to do. But this is my personal thinking about how they should be regulated.
Okay. You had an alternative policy at the time when it came up, and the Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, was championing a different policy instead of this Okada legalization. But it appears that the NDC has stuck to what they want to do, which is to legalize Okada. They didn't buy Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's policy. I also heard the NDC criticizing Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for not even fulfilling the promise of, which is replacing, giving them cars for them to do their commercial business instead of these
Okada riders would be given cars.
Yes.
As my brother criticized the Vice President.
At the time when the Vice President said he had an alternative,
we said it wasn't possible
to legalize
to provide vehicles for all Okada riders.
Okay.
No, actually, he didn't say it wasn't possible. To be fair, he mocked it and said instead of legalizing Okada, which in his view was,
the proposal was to have them buy vehicles on high purchase.
Exactly, on high purchase. Yes.
But I thought that you were saying that they criticized Bawumia for not implementing it.
No, they did. Because they kept asking how many people have been able to benefit from that policy, and that they should show, and that the government should show.
Okay, so my brother.
No, he has never lived up to any pledge of his.
Yeah,
that's right.
Have you started?
That's too sweeping. Okay. That's too sweeping.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So you can get him.
That's so sweeping.
That's not sweeping.
You can get him some juice.
I take exception to that. It's not. I don't make sweeping statements.
No, what I say.
I don't make sweeping statements.
I'm saying that's too generic to make.
That is a better.
Yes, generic.
That is a better.
That's a better. Yes, I apologize.
A better diction.
Yes, I apologize for that.
Let's make progress.
Please go ahead. Yes.
Please get him extra juice.
Oh.
He has some bread over there. So he should relax completely when I'm talking, not to interject, not to do anything whatsoever. Because now he is a public servant.
Right. So he can't express his opinion.
He can express his opinion, but he must be orderly. But when they were in opposition and they thought they could do anything, now they are restrained by proper conduct. They must conduct themselves properly.
I've ceded my right to communicate.
Absolutely.
I've ceded my right to communicate.
No, communicate responsibly.
Like a gagging order.
and they see there's a general problem.
Okay.
Right. And I think it's okay because the NDC themselves, they are tricking themselves that, oh, they are just early days in government, so it's still new, and that people should allow them time. Okay? They are behaving more as if they are still in opposition. They're in government. They're in government.
Okay. Let me beg you. Let me quickly do this. Let me quickly. No. I'll come back to you. You have all the time. Let me speak to the DVLA boss.
Okay.
That's Julius Yes, Julius Nikwe. He's joined us on phone for a quick conversation on the back of this Okada thing. Julius, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on Good Morning Ghana.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and I hope you're doing well too.
I'm very, very fine. Let me say a very good morning to all viewers.
Okay. Now, we're having a conversation on the back of newspaper publications. In fact, on most of the newspapers today, there's a talk about Transport Ministry beginning consultation on new licensing regime for Okada and also tricycle. But before we get to the meat or the substance of that story, someone actually hinted us that sometime on March 2, you, the Transport Minister, and the National Road Safety Commission boss, Abraham Maliba, had traveled to Rwanda to study the Rwanda system to enable you implement this policy successfully. Tell us about this trip.
Okay, so I was there with the Sector Minister, Honorable Nikwe, that's the Sector Minister for Transport. And then we also sent a rep from the Pragia Association. We sent the president of the Ghana Okada Riders Association. Then the chief director of the Ministry of Transport was also there with a technical officer from DVLA and myself. We were all there. So it's a simple way to understand it, what the process are, how we can safely use the African solution to solve another African problem. That is all. So when we went there, the entire Okada riders in Rwanda, they were approximately about 47,928. Now, they were all grouped under cooperatives. So, every Okada rider has a cooperative under which he or she is operating. Now, they had 32 cooperatives. Now, the cooperatives deal with the insurance aspect of the Okada when they go to purchase, and the agreement about high purchase, they come in as witness or someone who will give the backdrop for insurance. Now, in Rwanda, every rider on the streets is supposed to carry 2 helmets. Every rider on the streets is expected to carry 2 helmets. In Rwanda, every rider has a jacket which he or she identifies himself through a cooperative. So, assuming I am under a cooperative in Usu, we have a unique jacket we wear. When there's any issue, easily people are able to identify me under this very cooperative. Then in Rwanda as well, they all use the main road. They use the middle of the road, not the shirts of the road that we use in Ghana. Okay. So when there's any accident, the insurance company comes in with government subvention. They all come in to help. But most of their 2,000 or 4,000 of their motorbikes are EV, environmental friendly ones. Okay, they are EV. So, in as much as we are also looking at reducing emission level in the system, there's also a proposal on board to also bring in some motorbikes. The assembly will be done in Ghana here, and then we'll have agreements. They will have agreements with the Okada Association and the Praga Association. So as time goes on, we're changing the combustion ones in the system and introducing the EV. Now, one unique thing we're also bringing is that the number system, the number plate is visible. It's just like the police number plate in Ghana for the motorbikes. So I can stand anywhere within 200 meters, 300 meters, and I'll still see, I can identify the number on the plates. Unlike ours, which is very small and very difficult for you to see the numbers when there's an issue. So we are going to change all number plates for the Okada, for the motorbikes, and it will be commercial. Because in our system we use yellow number plates as commercial. We are in the airline. We are supposed, or we've amended that we will be using the same number plates or the Okada, which will differentiate between they and the normal riders. So the helmet will be compulsory, the jackets will be compulsory, we'll change their number plates, and we are going to also educate them to be on the streets. They are not supposed to be riding at the middle of the road, at the shape of the road. They're supposed to be following the cars. And the cars too, again, the cars must also exercise some little bit of patience. Sometimes we all feel they are not supposed to be on the road. We will see them and be blowing horn. That is wrong. That is something which is wrong. The DVL is also bringing a point management system where if you drive recklessly, will deduct your points. When it gets to some points, some aspect that we cannot anymore, we'll just block your license in the system for you to go for another training. So these are some of the things we are bringing on board. And we'll be meeting the Ghana Medical Association, we'll be meeting some other stakeholders, so we explain all these policies to them. Our rules will be safe. Our rules will be very, very safe.
Now, I'm also reading, thanks for updating us on what you found out when you went to Rwanda and the lessons learned. Now, we're told that the motorcycles and tricycles cannot be restricted to terminals or parking lots, but they will have places where you can identify that this is a motorcycle or tricycle terminal or slots that they can use on daily basis. What does that mean?
Okay, so because we are going to do it under districts or under regional capitals, so you cannot ride from one region to the other region. Okay, you operate within a region. So at every region, we'll try to get something we call a lorry terminal or a motor terminal for them. Some will be infused in the big lorry stations we have. So we just have to have word with the managers of these terminals. That's okay. Allow some space for the Okada riders over there. As time goes on and we find it necessary, we'll see a policy will be in place to construct their own. But for now, because we need them on board due to the insufficient number of cars we have in the system, we are going to use the lorry terminals we have just to keep them going. So their loading places will be at the lorry terminals as well. Some will have designated places already, but we just have to legitimize it and see whether the experts will agree with where they are operating or not.
I see. And finally, I've also heard some people say that why don't we pilot this whole policy? Let's identify places where the services of Okada and these tricycles are most needed. Let's start with those areas. Let's see how it goes before we generalize it and put them out and sort of, expand the scope of their business. That's the expression I was looking for. What do you make of those who make that suggestion, or has that come up in your deliberations? It
is part of it. We'll pilot it before rolling fully. We are not going to just begin like that. We'll pilot it. It is part of it, and it's a good call, and we've already considered that. So it is part of it. Okay. It's part of the system.
And they're going to run 24/7?
Yeah, they'll run 24/7.
Okay.
We are even trying to initiate something we call a testimeter to also track their operations. The testimeter will track their operations. Will let us know where they are at every point in time. There will be an app. So with the app, now we want to use like the way we have the Uber and the Yango, the ride-hailing apps. So it will be something like that. So you can even be in the comfort of your home and call for Okada, the services of Okada. Then we can also track where they are at every point in time. So we kept some level of the bad ones in it. We'll deal with that.
Okay. Honorable, you want to know whether you wanted me to ask him a question about crime alert.
I was just saying that we must be putting in a mechanism to deal with the activities deep into
of
the
criminals.
We must try to. We are interested in contexting their activities within the 24-hour economy that we are preaching. That we want to encourage businesses to run 24/7, and that's why President Mahama is talking about recruiting more security men and women to be able to support the 24-hour economy. And so in all our deliberations, I would urge them to also look at how we can deal with the potential crime that will come with it and how it can fit into the 24-hour economy with more security so that people don't take advantage of that policy to commit crime, especially deep into the night.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is, Nico, is that for some people, once you mention Okada, it frightens them. The thought of Okada frightens them.
It's about sensitization.
Okay.
We'll deal with that. That's why the National Road Safety Commission has a good policy on it. We'll go around to sensitize them. We'll do testing, and then we'll also test them. And it's going to be run on 24-hour registration system. Okay. So you come to our place, we test you, we test the level of efficiency. Then we can. Most of them don't have license. Then we can issue a license to you. They'll go to the system to obtain license, license A.
Okay.
License A, yeah. And then please let me use this platform to also announce the Goro Boy issue. The agents,
yes.
Yes, we are going to register them and regulate their activities. That we will also do.
Well, this Guru Boys matter, you've come under some flack. You've come under some criticism for that policy proposal, which is that you intend to regularize the activities of Guru Boys, even though that's not why we called you. But what is the record that you intend to set straight on this matter?
My brother, when you go to Tamahabo, Guru Boys are now agents. When you go to Accra, when you go to KI, Kotoka International Airport, Guru Boys are now agents. Now, when it comes to vehicle registration, on our Form A, we have what we call particulars of authorized agents. These are the people who are there as Guru Boys. Okay, so they are already doing their work. But what they overcharge our clients. If I say our clients, you and those in the studio, they overcharge you. Now, for them not to overcharge you, because they are already providing the service for you, but they overcharge. Let me register them. Then regulate how much they charge. That is exactly what we've done for the ultra centers. The ultra centers are not for DVLA. They are private owned. Now, they have come to us. We have an agreement with them. They will put 100 cedis charge on everything they do. That 100 cedis charge, they give DVLA 20 cedis and they keep 80 cedis. Now, that is exactly what the Gold Boy is doing. So, regulate them so they will not overcharge our clients. That is all we are saying.
Okay. Is there something else?
I think what he's talking about, it has to do with just they would run on commission basis. Okay. You know, we call them Guru Boys. They are illegal because they are not registered and they are not regulated.
Yes.
But once you are able to register them, license them, and regulate them, the activities have become formal.
Okay.
You know, it is now something legal. Like you said, they have a provision for them even on their form.
Okay.
And so I think that bringing them into the picture is not a bad thing.
Okay.
But at GIFEC, we want to engage with DVLA to see, because when you go to the regional capitals, you will find their offices there. But we think that
I'll come back.
You come back. We want to see how we can use our CICs.
From where you left off.
We have close to 300 CICs around the country.
Yes.
So we want to see how we can use the CICs to facilitate the activities of DVLA and other service-rendering agencies.
All right. So we're talking about collaboration here.
CEO, be expecting us. We'll come and knock at your doors to see how we can partner.
You're welcome.
To deliver efficient services.
Yeah. So thank you, Julius. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Richard, please come in.
He's done. Richard is done.
No, he's not even started.
He's not done. Okay.
He's not even started.
Okay.
Yes. Richard, please go ahead.
I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
you were responding to the alternative policy that you had proposed.
No, that's not on the table for discussion. I just was trying to state the record what we thought we wanted to do with that.
Was a better option.
Yes, you know, the Okada thing is a thing of credibility, is a thing of progressive thinking, that a government that said once upon a time that this is unacceptable for reasons that it is injurious, it's not promoting public health by way of accidents and things like that. It is aiding crime and matters that were real at the time, led to a legislation that banned the thing. Today is touting that as a discovery, an achievement that ought to be celebrated. For me, it is very, very confounding and indicative of the fact that we have a policy capacity deficit in terms of responding to the problems that confront our people. Our people want to work. Okada is a relapse. It's not anybody's first choice of work. It's a relapse. It's a difficult economic situation that led to that. Lack of opportunities, lack of jobs. Put a well-paying job here on the table and see how many people want to go and do Okada. It's not a job of choice. So if you have a government, that government should be thinking about how sustainably we provide opportunity for people that lead to quality of life, that improve people's livelihoods, that give people opportunity to achieve their life aspirations. Nobody sets out as a child to say, when I grow, I want to become an Okada rider. Nobody does that. It's a relapse. But somehow, we have a government today who lacks the capacity to break new frontiers, and so are going back to things that itself said were not proper, were supposed to be banned, and banned it in law. This is the government, is the political party, the NDC, the National Democratic Congress, that we voted for. To take us back, take us back, take us back. For me, it's very sad. While they will do it, I think that it's a missed opportunity for us to think forward, to break new grounds, and to engage the real matters, which is think hard, apply ourselves, and find opportunity. In a year, in an era where people are moving AI, people are breaking new frontiers, we are going back to do Okada, register people. Now that Okada is going to be imported from where? From China, so that our young people will be creating jobs for people in China only to carry me here, there. That's it. Retailing, consumption, that's really what it is. How does that add to production? They should be telling us that, all right, they're setting up a motor manufacturing factory here to complement what policy they are bringing. Minus that, it's a waste. It's going to be a drain on our forex, because now you have to import more motorbikes. You need more dollars to do that. So this is a failed policy on arrival. Apart from the fact that it's regressive, it is not reflective of anybody's aspiration as a child, as an adult, that I want to become an Okada rider. That's nobody. It's not a default position. It's a difficulty. It's a last resort. It's a situation that if you take any 1,000 Okada or 10 Okada people, ask them, this is not what they want. So a government should not specialize in this low-hanging stuff that does not advance any cause of our development. So for me, it's sad. Totally sad. Forget about sewing yellow dress for them, giving them blue helmet, doing whatever. It's a failure of a government to say that this is how we're going to create jobs for people.
Would you say same for a Bolt Uber driver too? That it's a relapse, it's demeaning, it's an afterthought? Would you say same for them?
Don't complicate my conversation.
No.
What they have brought
is a very innocent question.
Is a tangential question.
I want
giving
to
the main.
Hold on. Your comment was
my
only
comment.
in relation
I'm mentioning
to Okada drivers,
I didn't mention
Bolt drivers.
I'm drivers. Saying Okada.
For only Okada drivers.
Well, before you and I were born, there were people who were driving commercial vehicles. Right. Okay. We didn't have Okada here. You didn't grow up with Okada in this country.
Right.
Okay. And because that was not our mode of transportation, it came up, as people trying to make ends meet situation. And so the government, which is now the NDC government, saw reason to ban it. And I agree with them in banning it. The only challenge they have is that because of lack of opportunity for the young people, which they say they were coming to provide, and they haven't provided that yet, we'll get to that one, they are going back to say, okay, well, let's just, placebo. Yeah? They're trying to give this so that people would get something to do and then leave them alone. Governments are supposed to think and solve our problem. This is not a solution the NDC is bringing. This is compounding our problems. And my brother is sitting here and he's worried. And I like that he's worried because it's real. That this is going to lead to all manner of things. It's going to worsen public health, okay? Because some of the requirements you are going to see is that the rider and the passenger must wear a helmet. All right? Now imagine the public health implication of that. That one helmet, however many thousand people that you carry in a day or in a year or whatever, will have to be wearing the same helmet. In Togo, just here in Togo. The solution they are using to address that is that every passenger has to buy, you have to buy your own helmet. You don't have a motor, but you have a helmet. So Annie, who is your producer, will have to have a helmet of her own. Your control person who is sitting right here, will have to have a helmet. So when it's coming to work, apart from a handbag, she has to have a helmet this way if he wants to promote public health. Because one helmet, many passengers. That's going to worsen public health. So this thing here is an excuse for proper government solution to the problem of job in our country. We shouldn't welcome this. We shouldn't praise this, especially when they are going back to repeal a law which they themselves passed to say that this thing is wrong. Their first thought about banning this thing is right. Now, what they should be doing now, rather than repeal that thing, is to say, no, we are going to create opportunities. So my brother is saying here, thumping his chest, that everything we say we are going to do, if you promise bad thing and you are doing it, it's bad. It's not because you are doing it is good. It's bad. They themselves say it's bad. That Okada is bad. And now, if you look at the record, you are checking, just check and see the rate of accidents on our road. And motorbike accidents is grave. It's your body against the elements. So when it gets you big time. People get amputated regularly, and it's just like bad as it is. So if you are a government, we have built for you a whole Jubilee House. You have now a total of 2.7 billion for compensation. You are supposed to think.
That's not true.
That's not true. Massa, you are not coming. Oh, it's a budget matter. Have you read the budget? Don't expose yourself. Please, don't expose yourself.
You can come in, please.
Don't expose yourself. Okay, go to the appendices and tell us.
That's not true, Richard. Abandon that one and make progress.
Let him bladder. You can come in and correct whatever it is that he said. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Richard, please go ahead.
Tomorrow. You see, some of these things, you people in the media.
No, Richard.
But I'm coming. Just let me come. So this thing, he's just saying, oh, it's not his stuff because he has not read the budget. Okay, he has not engaged the numbers. Just tell him that.
You're telling me I haven't read the budget.
Oh, yes, just hold on. Because what you're saying is embarrassing that you don't know that your Office of Government Machinery.
You can't provoke me.
I won't. And I'm not interested in provoking. You are provoked already because I don't know what to do.
You can't provoke me.
No problem. But the point that I'm saying is that
when you are losing the debate, that's how you do.
He has not read the budget. That Office of Government Machinery has on the face of paper 2.711 billion Ghana cedis for compensation. He doesn't know. Okay? Now, they have allocated this money to the office of the president, essentially the headquarters, Jubilee House, to spend on compensation. They can't come up with a better solution. They are giving us Okada, which is going to affect public health, create a lot of accidents on our roads, damage people's properties, okay, cars on the road, and bolt with it, and with it, crime. With it, crime. That's the 21st century new era solution the NDC is bringing. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad for this country that we voted for this backward solution. You understand?
So you're suggesting?
Let me tell you, it is Albert Einstein.
In countries like
it
India.
is. I'm coming.
One second.
We are talking about countries. Forget about
it's a conversation. Let me come in. Let me just come in.
Let me just make you allow him to speak. Let me just.
But I've allowed you to talk for more than 20 minutes.
No, you haven't. No. What are you talking about? How my stopwatch here? Moro, just allow me. Allow me.
You learn.
I haven't even started talking what I want to talk about.
Really?
Yes. Because you are interrupting. He's also interrupting, and I'm just. The point I'm saying to you, Moro. It is Albert Einstein who says that a leader must not talk actively about his vision. He must also embody that vision. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has talked. He will do A, he will do B, he will do C. Now that he has come, we're not seeing anything. What we are seeing is Okada that he says he's coming to do. The 24-hour economy that he wants to labor, organized labor and said, and they say that it's a game changer. We are yet to see a paper on it. We are yet to see a PESWA or a CD allocation to it in 2025. Which then means, Moro, that a much talked about 24-hour economy that the NDC promised is a no-show. They haven't done it. And effectively, I can tell you, it's a failed promise as we speak. Even if they do it tomorrow, today, it's a failed promise. You understand? He promised, as a leader who should not just talk about his vision, but embody the vision, he told us that he was coming to fight Galamsey. That Galamsey had destroyed our waters. We are dying. I recall vividly my good brother Sabi Jemfi sitting here with me sometimes say, oh, people are being born with deformities. People are dying. He, Sabi Jemfi at the end, they went, stood by a river, gave press conferences. Optics Politics gave press conferences today. Instead of embodying his vision, the president is still talking about it, saying that he's not going to take it easy on people who are galamseying. This is not time to talk. This is time to do. Our country is quickly regressing. You see, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama should not talk about his vision to us anymore.
He's had all the time.
He should do about his vision. He told us that he will fight corruption and all forms of abuse of power. Moreover, when he came to office, one of the initial things that you started hearing, there was a bust in Sapema about some monies in containers.
Can we restrict ourselves to Okada? That's what we're talking about. There's a specific topic on the table.
We are having a conversation that is important.
I've allowed him to talk about all the things he wants to talk about. Including maternal mortality.
I didn't say maternal.
I say you can.
If it's relevant, I'll say it. If it's relevant,
including maternal and child mortality.
Please, just allow my brother to control.
Okada. See where he is.
The point.
That's what I'm just.
The point. And you are the director of communications of a ruling party.
Of a ruling party.
Of the man
telling that the man is confused.
You are a director of communications.
Is that you know? Is that you know?
Tomorrow. Well, if I sleep and say ruling party, you know you are not. You are
just drinking your thing.
You see, Okada.
Moro, please.
Whether it should be legalized.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised
that
as the director of communications for the NPP,
it's not correct.
You led them to just 38%? If it's the way you communicated in power,
Moro,
why would you lose power?
Moro,
why would you lose power?
Don't do this. I'll protest very strongly.
No, Okada.
No, please.
Okada, see where you are.
Senior, I beg you.
You are talking about everything.
Let's not do this.
From 24-hour economy to
yes,
everything.
Of course. Because now you run our country.
No.
The things that
your communication must be directed to the issue on table.
Do yours direct.
No.
Okay? But listen,
it means that you have nothing to say about what we're discussing.
Understanding of the matter.
You are so confused about it.
Richard,
please,
you are lost.
Richard,
you are lost.
Honorable,
come back.
Honorable, please allow him.
Please.
I want us to let's stay
Go ahead. Talk about anything that you want to talk about.
When you finish, I'll talk.
Let's stay on track.
Yeah, please.
Including
let you understand this thing, Moro. The fact that you bring a topic, I've discussed the Okada thing, haven't I?
Yes.
I have a concern as a citizen about government that is running my country. Please, senior, control the man. Control the man.
Please allow.
It's not about controlling you.
Yes,
it's about you controlling yourself.
No. You are being disorderly. You are being disorderly.
Don't disrupt him.
Okay?
Don't disrupt him.
The point is that I'm going to say. Oh no, please. You who don't know that I'm in opposition, you think I'm in government. No problem.
Don't you sleep. Don't you sleep.
No problem. So you keep sleeping.
Why do you want to take?
Tomorrow.
No, you shouldn't take solace in that. Because I said ruling party, and that becomes an issue for you.
Let's take a short break. We'll come back. Let's take a short break. Go back. Let's take a short break. Let's take a short break. Our time is up. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Who are you? Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bread you call mattress anymore? Don some slippers, then follow me. It is by the mattress lady the front there. Yeah? That'll be the mattress where the dead for me.
Wait, what are you doing?
Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like ash foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
Fire pomudi ni agubi Ghana fu ni age efi say ya your local spices na ya frafra dia ya sankofa natural spice
me dey go me jollof mu ni me still ahodoma e ma ne dance
Stanley the barbecue dey go on
sankofa natural spices and one e use 100% natural said the happen no
Adofo mamu nye huge mistake sankofa natural spices the
FDIG Michelle say,
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Chocolate Toothpaste, Sankofa.
Yenchi, Kel Chocolate Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
I'm a brand manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Unemu bua unkohwe Dr. Ban wo ye den wa.
Oh, me say yan fa ne ko ma mi buru wa.
Ayi ma mi do buru. So ni ase le be ko. Bra, mo mi fa ne ko Dr. Ban ho.
Dr. Ban no ya de.
Bra, se ba ne no mpemu adwuma sasabro slow Dr. Ban o ye.
So ni me kwa na meka. Oh no mpemu nim di ono na ye expect nya zanfo no. O akra any Kumasi no mpemu expect yen kan kire o.
You see, Ghana is a confused state now.
We're a confused state. That's serious.
We're confused structurally, ideologically, and in terms of what we are looking for.
All right, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro Television. This show is also live on 94.1 on your radio dial. Those of you who want to monitor the conversation on your radio, please tune in to 94.1. You can hear us. It's crystal clear, 94.1. For now, that radio station doesn't have a name. It's just 94.1. So we were having a conversation about Okada and whether it should be legalized or legalized. Quite clearly, the government has begun the processes of legalizing the operations of Okada. And Richard Ahiagba, in commenting on that matter, then was talking generally about the president and promises is fulfilled, the promises not fulfilled. I was of the view that, you know, it's okay to talk about promises kept and promise not kept, but when you dovetail into some other topics, then it prolongs the conversation because the person on the other side will also come in, and then we don't get to talk about what we need to talk about. You know, but he disagrees with me, and he still feels that there's something which is very dear to him. It's of grave importance. He will talk. So what I'll do is that, please, now that you've landed on the Okada matter and you want to talk about the president's promise kept and not kept, please do it briefly so that I can bring honorable. Yes, please go.
Condolences to the.
Yeah, the family of
Moro, just to tell him that he has had all the time so far. I've been quiet for a very long time.
No,
so
I'll give you time.
I'll give you time.
I don't know who is counting the time and which clock you are counting on, but I have my own clock here. When he was talking, I saw. But you see, condolences.
Yeah.
It's
a very good friend.
It's very painful to learn about his demise. Short of the fact that he's on the other side, he's a very pleasant individual. Very incisive, diabolic most often, but part of the political discourse that we're going to miss from him. Wish him a restful departure. You know, I was saying, and you say I disagree with you, but I don't.
Okay.
You see, when we come here as opposition people, as government people, there are things that are key, especially coming from opposition. Our primary job is to mirror the sentiment of Ghanaians to the government so they know what's happening. It is for their good. Okay? Whilst we were in government, they were in opposition. That was what they were supposed to do, but they were propagandizing most of the time. But we have committed ourselves not to do that, but to have a fair conversation, one that will give them indication that where you are going is not okay, please come here, do that, for purposes of nation building. That's what we're doing. So the idea that I come here and you say Okada, I've talked about Okada, is a complete non-starter, something that the government, rather, with the 2.7 billion compensation budget they have, they should have enough conferences, okay, and think about a more sustainable solution for our young people, not Okada.
Okay.
Okay? But I was going to tell you something that is bothering our people, something that is topical in our country.
I'll let you talk about it.
Yes.
But before you do that, you know Mansa Musa?
So let me just conclude. Mansa Musa is a friend. So let me just conclude.
Yes. No,
he's a very diabolic friend. He's a diabolic friend. Yeah,
No,
very, very
diabolic.
diabolic.
Message for you.
If you take Honorable away or put Mansa Musa here, you won't see any difference.
Oh, really?
If you understand what I'm
Mansa Musa is
NDC.
He's NDC.
You ask him.
Okay,
but when I finish, let me just
no, it's on Okada
you see,
matter.
this is what you do, and my brother will say that I'm talking plenty because you are breaking and interjecting.
Right, so when you're done,
you understand? Because once you are interjecting, the time is counting, and you add it to mine.
He said he has a message for you. I'm only a
you should send it to me. He should send it to me. He has my number. I should send it.
You do that.
Look, you know, the country is concerned about this rise in cocaine swimming through our country. Okay? Now, I make this point not seeking to blame the NDC government that cocaine this, cocaine that. When they were in office from 2010 all the way, there were cocaine arrests and things all over the place. One that implicated government people, one that made President John Vasanta Mills concerned and said that he wanted to install itemizers in his own suite.
Let's give you examples. He's making very serious allegations.
Okay,
Those were involved.
no problem. In 2014, he says he wants to know. In 2014, no, there were major busts even in 2012. But in 2014, let me just tell you. In 2014, Nayele Ametepe, a lady also called known as Ruby Edujemfi, carried cocaine from here through VVIP to go to London. At the time when our NACOP was supposed to be cooperating with the British authorities to fight the drug. When she got there, she got busted. Our people here, the government, then President Mahama was in government, wasn't he? They kind of came up and cobbled stuff up and have the executive secretary, the deputy executive secretary of NACOP, issue a statement to say that that arrest was in partnership with Ghana authorities. And the British people came back and said, no, you didn't give us any indication. You didn't. You understand? Then the substantive executive secretary, then Akresi Sapong, who refused to write the letter, and his deputy authored the letter, came to say that the person who wrote that letter should be held responsible. Dr. Omaniboama, now defense minister, came to recant that deputy position and said that is not exactly correct. And then instead of giving us better particulars of the matter, only put a burden on the British authorities to prove that the lady traveled on a diplomatic passport. If you, a Ghanaian authority, want to know if anybody traveled on a diplomatic passport, well, you're not the one who was issuing it, can't you ask from immigration? He wanted to know also, in 2012, there was a major bust, about 7.8 kilograms of cocaine was arrested again in London.
So what's your point now?
My point, he wants to know, as if he doesn't know what you always want to know.
Right.
On that matter, the executive secretary wanted to resign because he felt that his people or the security system that is supposed to check the movement of those cocaines out of our country failed. The then National Security Coordinator, my good brother Bavro Lati, retired, says that no, he won't resign. The point I'm going to make to you, which is key, is that we are beginning to see the resurgence of cocaine trade in our country, money laundering in our country. A claim that was made recently, and my brother Felix Kwachiofosu says that it is absolutely not true, gave us some flight indication of why certain planes came here, that we're concerned about that what the mission of those planes are in Ghana may not be entirely legitimate. He says, oh, no, that's not true. All the facts that Kwachiofosu said he was putting out are false. But yet he was the one accusing people of misdirection. He told us, I'll just tell you one thing, and then maybe another time, make this a topic for us to come and discuss. He told you there was an air-made plane that came to this country. That is N823 AM. Okay? That flight, Felix told us, that was stopping in Ghana on its way from somewhere for crew rest and refueling. That's what he said. Okay? And that flight did not originate from where it was supposed to have originated from in Spain, and that it was here for refueling. It turned out that it's not true, that flight came from the island of Gran Canaria in Spain, straight to Ghana, with the fault, he said, it developed best tie and all these things that he talked about. That aircraft left here. If it was stopping here for crew rest and refueling, it would have continued to where it was going.
All the time.
It's about, it's about to land.
I'm landing for you. What is important, you're in government, you should listen. You shouldn't be in the hurry to
That
talk.
doesn't mean I should sit down here and allow you to speak.
You should listen.
You should listen throughout the time.
Yes, of
make
course. Because you
business
need
allegations.
it. You need it.
Why? You sit down here and make business allegations.
Oh, Massa.
You know, we're almost
Richard,
about any program.
Okay, so
that's not fair.
This is opposition talk.
No, that's not fair.
Okay,
That's not fair.
You have to be
responsible. I have kept my cool for a reason.
You haven't kept your cool. You have
kept my cool for a reason. But it's
Look,
so
let me conclude.
How many minutes do you want to speak?
No. 30 seconds.
That guy spoke for about 30 minutes before we went on break.
This will not help you.
It will be more than 10 minutes since we came on break.
What you are doing will not help you.
I checked it.
What you are doing will not help you.
I checked it.
Do you understand? Felix told us that flight was here and was resting and therefore would go back to where it was going. That flight from Gran Canaria came back to Ghana, went back from Ghana to the same place.
Okay.
But Felix said the flight was just going through, it needed rest, and then it came here. So the point is that from Gran Canaria Island to Ghana, from Ghana back to that destination, what did he come here to do? Felix said he came here for crew rest, but that's not the case.
Okay.
Because you cannot just take your plane from your house, come here and rest and go back to your house. You either come here to work on Good Morning Ghana to represent your party and government and conduct yourself well, or you don't come here at all.
Okay.
So when you come here and you lie to us that you came here to rest, when you actually came here to do propaganda, that is cause for an inquiry. So the point I'm making quite simply is that Felix Kwachi Ofosu lied.
Okay.
And he did told us on his that explainer he gave that if there was any evidence contradicting what he put out, he'll resign.
Okay.
I'm saying that this is the time for Felix Kwachi Ofosu to consider resigning because he lied.
Richard, I'll tell you what.
We have to discuss this matter in full.
You've spoken for 40 minutes.
Ghana needs to know the facts. So even if I speak the rest of the day, it's very important.
No. Everybody can justify why they can talk for 2 hours.
But the man is doing propaganda. What did he say?
Anyway, Honorable, please go ahead.
Just listen. Propaganda.
I said it for a purpose.
No, it's okay. I mean,
so that tomorrow you don't say somebody spoke long and blah, blah.
I want to register.
You've never heard me say that.
I want to register my displeasure at the way you've run the program, especially in the last 1 hour. That you have given the opportunity and the platform to Richard to speak about all manner of issues, making baseless allegations, very unfounded.
So you should
almost an hour. Please.
Now you are the one saying please now.
Be a gentleman.
You are the one saying please.
Be a gentleman. You know I can do it much better. You know that.
Oh, I know you are disorderly.
Okay.
You are disorderly. So don't tell me to be gentle when you are disorderly.
I will not be provoked.
He's being deliberate about it.
Because he was disorderly and he's inviting somebody to be gentle.
I will not be provoked.
Please go ahead.
So next time, learn to be gentle also.
You see, as a government, we welcome every criticism that would make our government better. I have always said that all government communicators, all party officials of the NDC, and government appointees must conduct themselves to reflect the persona of President Mahama.
Yeah.
And the persona of President Mahama is not in doubt in everybody's mind that he's a perfect gentleman. And so I will not be engaged in that rude conduct this morning.
What are you talking about? Say something.
You see,
you are just complaining.
Nana Akomie says that the NPP is yet to recover from the shock that Ghanaians gave them in the last elections. I'm sure you are aware he said that publicly.
Yes.
That is exactly what Richard is epitomizing this morning. That they are unable to recover from the shock that was handed to them by the Ghanaian people. Imura, you see, when you are asked to discuss issues relating to legalizing or otherwise of Okada, you don't take the opportunity to go and talk about horticulture and animal husbandry, especially when you are a director of communications of a party. That is not done anywhere. And so that's where my worry comes in. I would try my best to stay on focus. And to tell you that on the issue of the Okada, that we will table for discussion, it is only a fool who doesn't change his mind. It is true, and that is the character of President Mahama, that we passed the law under his tenure as president during his first term. But the exigencies of the time have told us that the best thing to do is to regulate that sector. And we have been bold to tell the Ghanaian people, we didn't like the Ghanaian people, that we will give Okada riders vehicles. We will take their motorbikes and give them cars. We didn't do that. That was what your flag bearer, the then vice president, that was a pledge he made in 2020. And you won the elections in 2020. Up to 2024, you never delivered on that promise. That is a clear difference between President Mahama and your flag bearer and your party. Okay? Now on the issue, I told you earlier that when you are swimming in the presence of your enemy, he will tell you are raising dust. Richard will never see anything good in the NDC and President Mahama. What was he talking about? He says that public health.
Ask him.
They say public health. That Okada will raise issues of public health. Is trotro legal in this country or not? Is trotro a private car? Don't you use it? Don't Ghanaians use it? And he says that, oh, it is good if we can manufacture the motorbikes here. So if we manufacture the motorbikes here, it means that no accident would occur. The man had no issue. He had nothing to discuss on this issue of Okada. And so no wonder he veered into 24-hour economy, drug issue, and money laundering. But you see, this so-called issue that you are talking about, you see, what they want to do is to set the agenda for us. And you will not succeed.
Answer
you will not succeed. When we came this morning, Richard told you that we should discuss the issue of baseless allegations by Infiltration. True or false? I was interested in the stolen containers. That one, you don't want to talk about it at all.
Talk about it. I'm ready to talk about it. Talk.
Please. Talk. This was a matter raised by a sitting member of parliament. And the immediate past deputy minister for education. He raised the matter in a press conference. The man didn't say suspicion. He said the intelligence he gathered pointed to ABCD. President Mahama being a listening president, somebody who is interested in researching this country and wants to carry everybody on board, including the opposition party, says that, look, I have asked all the security agencies, including NIB, to investigate into the matter, and that I urge the MP to collaborate with them. And that you have a problem. The MP has since refused. If you think that you are making credible, if you think that you are making credible allegations, if you think that you have some shred of evidence, the #1 gentleman of the land says that collaborate with these state institutions to investigate the matter. That was not the issue under President Akufo-Addo. President Mahama didn't want to clear anybody. He says that even though I have the facts, because as president, he is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. He is giving daily briefings on national security. But the man still gave you the benefit of the doubt and said, go ahead as MP and collaborate with the security agencies to look into the matter. You refuse to do that. You come out and say, oh, you are speaking on behalf of the parliamentary committee on interior and security. They deny you. They say you are speaking as a minority member on the committee. And this man is supposed to be a pastor, a reverend. The best platform, look, you can do all the allegations you want, Richard. To the extent that government has even released a video footage of the repairs that was done on the vehicle. Video, not photo, video footage of what transpired at airport. You are still not convinced. That is why I say it is very difficult to wake up a person who is not sleeping. They are not sleeping, and so we cannot wake them up. They know what the truth is. All that they want to do is to use this baseless allegation to divert attention from the stolen containers at the port. Period. Nothing beyond that. And the media seem to be entertaining them. Look, this morning, about 8 billion Ghana cedis. I know what 8 billion Ghana cedis means. That could have completed all the Agenda 111 that they started. That could have provided jobs to millions of Ghanaians. You spend about 8 billion Ghana cedis to import electrical materials in the name of ECG, when indeed your procurement threshold was less than 2 billion. You import them, and you didn't have less than 1 billion Ghana cedis to go and clear them at the airport. When you knew you about living power, you then began to steal and sell them to private people, including foreign nationals. This is what you did to this country. And you have the guts to come here and talk about public interest issues. This is what you did. And interestingly, your running mate in the just ended elections, Matthew Opoku Prempeh, was the Minister for Energy when this rot occurred. Your minority leader, Honorable Afonyo Makin, was the ECG board when this rot happened. Dubik was an appointee of President Mahama, who had to even resign. President Akufo-Addo, who even had to resign. And so you do all these things, and then you come to the series of Metro TV, and you want to set the agenda because you don't want us to talk about the critical matters. As for your allegations, we are still waiting for the MP to collaborate with the security agencies. We have released the video footages. We have nothing to hide. No member of the NDC, in fact, no sitting member of the NDC has ever been caught with even we. Your sitting member of parliament in 2005, who contested your primaries, contested your elections and won to become MP in Ghana on your party ticket, was busted in UK with cocaine and was sentenced and jailed in UK. WikiLeaks even talks about your own immediate past president and his association with drugs. We are aware. And so you have the guts to talk about drugs and want to associate drugs to the NDC. We are far from that. And so, Richard, be rest assured that President Mahama and the NDC has nothing to hide. We are more than willing, if you have any shred of evidence, please bring it forward. To the extent that we have given you, not letters, or video footages. And I'm worried that the Ghana Airport Company Limited, they are not communicating on this matter. I'm worried that we have a state agency. An allegation is made about your agency, and you are quiet. And that's why people are beginning to raise questions that who is still in charge of the airport? Was the person appointed by Akufo-Addo? Could she have been appointed if she was not a member of the NPP? Is she doing the business of the NPP? That she's still at the airport? The Airport Company Limited? And this is happening and she's quiet? Don't they have a corporate affairs department? Why are they leaving the job for the Minister for Government Communications to do? Some of these things, sometimes you don't want to talk about it publicly. But it is annoying that President Mahama had to travel across the length and breadth of this country, 275 constituencies, day and night, with his party foot soldiers, campaigning for power to reset this country. Somebody who never showed his face, who had an opportunity to serve under the SR regime, is still in power because President Mahama is a very calm person and things are other need to clear off everybody. But some of these are worrying. We can't allow that to happen. If their corporate affairs department, if the chief executive officer is not willing not to defend government, to tell the public the truth and exonerate clearly the government of President Mahama, we will not tolerate it. And so I expect the Corporate Affairs Department and the CEO of the Ghana Airport Company Limited to speak loud about this matter. If we are culpable, tell us we are culpable. President Mahama is not that type of person who will clear anybody. He is not that type. The man says that I have come to reset this country. Okay. When President Mahama said Ghana had become a crime scene, even civil society organizations were angry. Why he used the term crime scene? Imoro, what's happening with the ECG containers? Hasn't that confirmed that Ghana has become a crime scene? An ordinary Ghanaian could not have done that. People in high authorities were behind the stealing and selling of 1,346 containers. We thought only excavators could fly. Today, containers containing huge electrical materials also flying under the MPP. And you don't want to talk about it? You want us to waste time on baseless allegations? This is not how we want power. If that MP, Reverend, I sometimes want to take off the Reverend, because I suppose that to be a Reverend means that you are a man of God. I wonder how his congregation will be feeling. That he subjected himself to this public ridicule. That you make allegations against your country and your government, and you are asked as an MP to come and collaborate with the security agencies to unravel the matter, and you can't do that. You are everywhere. That is not how Samuel Okudzeto became a popular person relative to oversight. No, that's not how he did it. His works on President Akufo-Addo flying with private jets were scientific. They were scientific. He had demonstrable evidence.
Okay.
This is not what we are seeing from the MPP.
All right.
Now, Richard says that when the NDC was in opposition, we had the opportunity to talk about everything. And we want power. So he also wants to have the opportunity to talk about everything. We never did that. Okay. My interest this morning is that, look, nobody in the NDC, our president, no minister, no MP of our government has ever been associated in any way with drugs. That is not your record. You know the guys in your party. You know. I've just given you the example of Erika Martin. I have given you a WikiLeaks revelations about your own flag bearer and president, Nana Akufo-Addo. Okay? You can't say that of President Mahama or anybody in the NDC. And so if you want to talk about drugs, you will be the most victim.
Okay.
But I can assure you that the issue that you are running away from, the missing containers, that what you can do everything, you can try to set the agenda, you can try to manipulate the media, people will be held accountable.
Okay.
I am surprised why even Assad now, they have not invited Martin Opoku Prempeh and Afinyo Makin for questioning.
Where's your government? Let them invite them.
The Minister for Interior and National Security, Honorable Muntaka Mubarak, I have every confidence in him that no one in this country is above the law. Yeah. You subject us to harsh economic conditions. You push people down into poverty. You collapse banks. You did DDEP. All these sufferings that we did. Now, fiscal stealing. We have uncovered huge sums of money under your beds. Today, we are uncovering boxes from Bank of Ghana.
All right, so
in containers.
Okay, let me do this.
And you still have the guts. That was not enough. You are now selling our containers.
So let me do this quickly. Let's just do quickly. You've not allowed me.
You'll be held accountable.
My viewers.
You would be held accountable. You can't shape the public opinion with your agenda setting.
No problem.
You can't do that. And when he comes, I'll come back.
No, don't worry.
When he comes, I'll come back. You'll be held accountable. Not for stealing.
Yeah, just a quick one.
Just remember you're in government.
You know when you were what
the difference?
Richard, you must be responsible.
No, please.
I am responsible when I say no. I am responsible when I say your government, led by Opoku Prempeh and Afinyo Makin, as minister and board chair under their watch, that 1,364 containers containing electrical materials, including cables and meters, have been stolen and sold under your watch. So I'm asking you, how is that irresponsible? Is that a fact? Is that a fact or not?
All right. So
is that a fact or not?
Hold on. When you were giving examples. Oh, I beg you. When you were giving examples when you were giving examples of the incidents that happened in the past, to substantiate the allegations or the claim you made that
I wasn't substantiating. He asked evidence, and I gave it.
Yes. And you gave I didn't comment on it because you give it live. You give it live.
But these are facts.
I didn't want to give it live.
That is fact.
Then Naila Metepe one.
Yes.
You know, at the time it was the communication minister at the time was Dr. Mande Mwama.
Yes.
And so he's had cause to send a message in relation to what you said,
in
response to what you said. And it says, "Good morning. President Mahama has always fought narcotics." Richard Anyagba referred to the Naile case. Read the response of government to NACOP at the time then. We're determined to right the wrongs. We are resetting Ghana. We shall not be distracted. Now, this is what the story says. Now, this story was carried by my Joe online.
9 people were arrested, right?
Are you reading?
No, just a small paragraph. He said I should refer you to the story.
Yeah.
And as the Communication Minister, Dr. Edward Omanibuama, has discounted claims by the country's anti-narcotics agency, NACOP, that he collaborated with the British authorities, leading to the arrest of the Ghanaian lady at Heathrow with cocaine. And says following the arrest of a Ghanaian Austrian Naeli Ametepe, the Narcotics Control Board, at the time was a board, in a statement signed by its Deputy Executive Secretary Richard Neil Anteblanc, it said, "It is worthy to know that Ms. Naeli Ametepe travelled on an Austrian passport number P4187659 and not on Ghanaian diplomatic passport as being speculated. Yeah. She also had in her possession an ordinary Ghanaian passport number GO364497 issued on 3rd August 2012. The statement claimed that Naeli was arrested on the 10th of October 2014 through the collaborative effort of the Narcotics Control Board and the British partners. But Omanibuama said until proven otherwise, he would not accept or believe the claims of NACOP. Yeah. The Communication Minister view aligns perfectly with Professor Odriga Dekpo, who also said, now this is what she said, how is it that incredible amount of cocaine could have passed through Ghana's security checks at Kotoka, which is full of BNI agents, to Heathrow, London, then it is the Heathrow's police that pick it up. She said it is difficult to imagine the London police saying that there is a crime that is being committed and they know about it in London, but they wait till the person comes to Ghana. So essentially saying that this has nothing to do with there's no any underhand dealings on the part of the government.
So the then Minister for Information, the then Minister, yes, the then Minister for Information disowned NACOP, right? And later 9 other people were arrested in Ghana. 9.
Moro, you are going to
9 were arrested in Ghana. That's how we fight drug peddling. That's how we deal with drug peddling. We arrested 9 people in Ghana.
See, I don't know. Maybe your record will show that. When we're in government, I didn't see my brother on this platform. Okay.
Which platform?
Yeah.
Abdullah, this is
I'm just saying that. I'm saying I didn't see.
He's not saying he's not here.
This is the man's second time of saying that.
Yes.
But Richard, I don't know when you started communicating for your party. But I can assure you that I'm probably older than you in this system.
But you are so personal about
this is not the first time of saying it.
Okay.
I'm just saying
you have a proprietary rights on Good Morning Ghana.
Yes, please.
No, I'm just saying that. I don't remember. Because
how does that relate to what we're discussing?
Honorable, please allow.
What is this?
No, how does that relate to what we're discussing?
What is this? Why are you behaving like this? You are a public servant. Behave.
I like that.
No, because he has to.
Please go ahead.
We are paying him. He can't be disorderly.
So I will not sit down here because I'm a public servant and allow you peddle falsehood. That's what I won't do. That's what I won't do.
Just respect yourself.
That's what I won't do.
But you see, here's the point.
Because he knows why.
When he repeats it, I also say
the point is that
I'm a false servant, so I shall allow you peddle falsehood.
Whatever my good brother Dr. Banubama said did not refute anything I said. He only cleared what he had come to say, okay, which was that the NACOP people wrote the letter. He came to recanting that their position was not correct.
Yes.
So that means that the British people were right, that cocaine left here and got there, we didn't tell them. So there's complicity within the security services. I'm not been blaming government. The point I am making is not to say that President Mahama is peddling drugs or not, but these things happen, okay? And it's a security sector that really is complicit. But because the buck stops with you, the president, you must deal with it. And that's why this matter of the aircraft coming here and the suspicion that it brought contraband stuff, we want
what suspicion? Bring the evidence.
Please. We want that to be investigated, okay? So that Narcotics Control Authority be the one who lead the conversation. So that because of professional standards, they cannot come and say just anything. Now, Felix took this thing to the Jubilee House. He wrestled it from them. Okay, that I want to talk about it. They gave it to him. See, the information they gave him to come and give to us is false. You understand? My brother is talking about what's the name? They invited him, or the president says that he should cooperate with security agencies to kind of investigate the thing. What's the meaning of that? Now, please. The investigation authority or the investigative authority, they have complete control of the domain. Okay? But anyway, they haven't invited the honorable member for South. They haven't invited him by the meeting. They haven't, please.
They have.
You are not on top of the issue, so don't be coming here and exposing yourself by that.
They have.
You see, they haven't.
They have.
And he doesn't even know. He's defending it. Yeah, I feel sorry for him. He's in government, doesn't know what is happening. He sits at GIFEC and things like that is all. A lot of things are happening. He doesn't even know. What Felix said, I'm not sure he listened to Felix. He hasn't even listened to Felix. Felix said that aircraft came here, okay, to rest.
Have you seen the video footages? Have you seen the video footages?
Again.
Have you seen the video footages?
Please be quiet. Be quiet.
Has the man been asked to collaborate?
If I were you,
the citizens or not?
If I were you, what I would say is that
you are not me, and you can't be me.
Okay, no.
We don't think same.
No, please. This is not communication.
We don't think same.
You are just being rude. You see,
we don't think same. I'm a refined gentleman.
No, but you.
I'm a refined gentleman.
Behave like
I can behave like you.
I can behave like you. You are behaving.
I'm a refined man.
No problem.
I beg you.
I'm a refined man. I'm not reckless.
Please allow him.
I'm a refined man. You're being rude.
He's not on top
You're
of the
being
issues.
rude, Richard. No respect.
No problem. He's not on top of the issues at all.
You're being
If
rude.
I were him, I would just say that
you are on top of
I don't
issues.
know about.
When they say
For
speak
some
about
reason,
Okada, you speak about everything. You think you're on top of issues.
No, but
See how you have embarrassed yourself this morning. See how you have embarrassed yourself this morning, and you think you're on top of issues. Talk about Okada, then you talk about almost everything on earth, and you think you're on top of issues. You have embarrassed yourself, and you are a national communications director of a major political party, and this how you communicate.
Please allow him to land. You have just 2 minutes to finish.
Ask me how long I've been on this platform.
Yes, because this behavior, I don't think Randy will tolerate this.
No.
I don't think.
So
what
are you doing?
Yes.
So what are you doing?
Because the last time.
So you are now castigating immoral. You are now castigating immoral, not me.
But what he's doing is
you are now castigating immoral, not me.
It's excessive. This is not acceptable of an honorable member of parliament for the good people of
I'm a former member of parliament. I'm a former member of parliament.
I'm still more interested in the
because you don't respect, you are not on top of issues. You peddle falsehood, and so I shall allow you. I won't allow you, Richard. I won't allow you at all. You peddle falsehood.
They don't come on.
And virtually insult on the program.
They don't come on the program.
And you think I shall allow you go
sit at
on check? I won't allow you on check.
Go and sit at GIFEC and
you peddle falsehood. I'll correct you.
But you don't know the thing you say is falsehood. You don't know.
What is it?
Simply, you just don't know.
Have you seen the video footage or not? Has the president asked the MP to collaborate or not? Has he done that?
He has not been invited.
Has he done that?
He has not been invited. You don't know that.
You can't be this reckless. And you are talking about drugs.
You don't know.
When your flag bearer and president was associated with marijuana and cocaine.
What happens here typically when people are making claims? Even if you find what they're saying factually inaccurate, what would always advise in order that we can have a flow?
But he has interjected me a couple of times.
Yes, I know that.
But you started.
Has he interjected me or not? It's not true. It's not true. It's not true. It's not true.
You started. But the point is,
direct it to him and not me.
No, I'm saying it's just for what.
Direct it to him and not me.
Interjected each other. That's what I'm saying. The two of you.
No, he started the interjection.
When Richard peddles falsehood, I'll correct him.
No, when you do that,
which is the falsehood?
That's why I'm here. When he's done, and I don't correct him.
You have a lot of falsehood.
Yes, but when you keep interjecting him, we can't have it.
He has not done that to me.
No, I'm saying the two of you.
You started. Moro, he started.
He hasn't done that to me.
No, you started it.
Why are you pampering these guys?
No, I'm saying that.
Why are you pampering these guys?
The two of you are guilty of.
Why are you pampering these guys? I will not take it. I would not take it for a moment.
Just stay at GIFEC.
I will not take it.
Don't come here.
You pamper him.
Yes.
Go I'll correct him.
Go and stay at GIFEC. If you don't want to be interjected,
you will see me here when I have time.
No problem. No problem.
I don't come here as a staff of GIFEC. I come here as a party communicator.
We are paying you and you are sitting here.
No problem. You can stop to pay me. Go ahead.
Our time is up.
Take off your tax from my pay.
9:55.
Take off your tax from my pay.
If we were supposed to close 5 minutes before.
You guys have been with drugs, including your own flag bearer and president and your MPs.
A big thanks to our audience for watching today's edition of Good Morning Ghana. But Abdul Basit says that, can you please ask Richard why Ghana was noted as a drug hub in 2022? All Ghanaians are asking for is proof to back their claim that there is two aircrafts were here to courier drugs, gold and money. Reverend should be put before court to prove his wild allegations on the way to face prosecution to serve as a deterrent to everyone. That free speech should not be used to spew garbage in public. And Makojobo Afu says, good morning. This is unfair to the listeners. You see, my listeners are not happy at all. The interjections by two of you. It says, those in the studio are just not helping. Good morning, Ghana is humble for respecting. This show respects its audience a lot. So please, the two of you, I beg you. The interjection is is too much. And then this one here says that, can you tell us, my former colleague and friend, to behave himself and stop this talking trade interruptions when he doesn't like what his opponent is saying? That's your very good friend, Eugene Washi entry. It says, tell my former colleague and friend that he should. He said he should be Eugene Washi entry. The former Subi MP.
Subi MP.
Yes.
Oh, he's a gentleman. Yes. One of those guys they have and kind of try to push away.
You should have copied.
You guys push him away out of parliament. You should have copied. You guys push him out of parliament.
That,
yes.
David said Ghana was identified as a transit country for drug trafficking by the British High Commission the year 2022. So well as the morality of the opposition MPP when it comes to governments being touted as a drug hub. And Musa says that Captain Moro, not on many occasions did I have the need to not just disagree with Richard Hamba, but this morning he's completely off the mark. Here in the UK, due to prevailing circumstances, the government has done a U-turn on previously non-negotiable program to mitigate climate change. That is what is known as Net Zero program, a plan to rid British roads of petrol. Honourable Richard, please. It says what is known as Net Zero program, a plan to rid British roads of petrol and diesel engine vehicles. Today, the British government has decided to put on hold that climate change proposal till future notice. So why should regularizing Okada means of transport a bad thing, given that Richard Hagba, has confirmed that you do not have other jobs to do? Please let me say, Mr. Richard Hagba know that even in other countries we look up to them and admire in terms of economics, they still allow the use of tuk-tuk and the motorcycles as means to public transport. I'm afraid this morning Richard Hagba has failed to impress. And it says, he says he knows you admire him very well, so please take it easy. Musa Abatwa from Asawasi said, good morning, Moro. Welcome to Okada policy. This is a significant step towards regulating the Okada business, which has become a vital source of livelihood for many Ghanaians. With this policy, we can ensure safer, more organized operations while providing better protection for both riders and passengers. It's encouraging to see the promises made by John Mahama during his campaign coming to life, as this will contribute to the growth and sustainability of the sector, benefiting many hardworking individuals across the country. And finally, Prosper Shikwe says, with GM, it's a good one, Moro. We voted for who? Ask Richard if he voted for the NDC. I can tell he has nothing to say this morning.
Hi viewers, how well are you informed about the general knowledge of the world, current affairs, history, English, sports and more? Introducing the Metro King Show.
Who said it always seems impossible until it is done? George.